Hi, it's Mobile Max in West Hollywood. It's December 3rd, 2025. It's a Wednesday. And do you know that Los Angeles is the gang capital of the United States? Here, let me read you some of the gangs in Los Angeles. Abergale Crime Family, Bahala Na Gang, Black Vanguard. Okay, here's the Bloods. Black Peastone Bloods, Bounty Hunter Bloods, Piru Bloods, Feared Monstrosity Kings Bloods. Here are the Crips. Asian Boys Crips, Grape Street Watts Crips, Rollin' 60s Neighborhood Crips, Son of Samoa Crips, Togan Crip Gang, Venice Shoreline Crips, Peckerwoods, Aryan Brotherhood, Nazi Lowriders, Public Enemy Number 1, Compton Executioners, Linwood Vikings, Santana's, Sinaloa Cartel, Mexican Mafia, Sherfios, 18th Street Gang, 38th Street Gang, The Avenues, Armenian Power, Azusa 13, Barriox 13, Culver City Boys 13, El Monte Flores 13, El Monte Flores 13, Florencia 13, Logan Heights Gang, OVS Gang, Playboys, Puente 13, Santa Monica 13, Temple Street, Tunerville FIFA 13, Barrio Nueve Estrada, Venice 13, Vineland Boys Gang, West Side Locos 13, White Fence, Wilma's 13, Tiny Rascal Gang, Triad, 14K Triad. Remember in the 90s? You had drive-bys and shootings and all sorts of criminal activity going on in South Central LA and the outer parts of Los Angeles. Oh, you don't hear none of that anymore. You know, they complain about how Russia and China redact and censor the news carefully so their public doesn't see anything they don't want them to see. Well, hey, in LA, join the club. You, in the news media, the liberal news media, does not show you anything. You never hear about anything in LA where blacks or Hispanics are killing each other. Would all these gangs retire? I doubt it. The news media is corrupt. They march in lockstep with the communist Democrats. You know, I was watching Goodfellas, you know, the great movie by Martin Scorsese about the Italian mafia. And there's a scene where Henry Hill, the main character, is a kid, and he's looking at the Italian mafia across the street. And he wants to be part because the Italian mafia does what they want. They take what they want. Well, hell, they got nothing on the goddamn California Democrats. California Democrats do what they want. They take what they want. They turn crises into money in their pockets. COVID. Remember COVID? It was just, 6 years ago? Boy, did they close the state down quick. And boy, did they start pouring out money to everybody. Do you know in the United States they had 11.5 million PPP loans, Paycheck Protection Program, and they had 11.5 million loans. 10.5 million of those loans were already forgiven. Almost $1 trillion in PPP loans or more. And the unemployment where they had 30 billion and more in fraud. And since they've destroyed all the police departments in the state, nobody investigates finding out where the money went to and who got it. Well, during the Biden administration, large drug cartels infiltrated all the Democratic cities, and the Democrats, they made money off that too. You got drug addicts. Hell, you can have NGOs for rehabilitation of the drug addicts, and all sorts of programs for drug addicts, and programs, NGOs paid by the taxpayer, NGOs for poor people and bums. They've brought in millions of piss poor people and bums and drug addicts, and they've put a ball and chain around the taxpayer's neck. We have to support all these people, and in style too. Not only do we have to give them a place to live, we got to feed them 3 meals a day. We got to take them to the doctor and the dentist. It's outrageous what they've done. Outrageous. Do you know in Los Angeles, California, AFDC, Aid to Families Dependent Children, that's welfare, and then they got a Section 8 federal program, housing program. And they've awarded many poor families on welfare a house, a Section 8 house, where they have no rent or very small rent, because the taxpayer picks up the tab. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of poor people live in homes in Los Angeles, and the average taxpayer has to live in an apartment. He can't afford a house. But the goddamn communist Democrats in California take care of their own. 2003, Gray Davis, Democratic liberal governor of California, was recalled, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was put in his place. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. He did many good things. But the Democrats vowed from that date on, boy, did they hate that, getting their governor recalled, the Democrats. They hated that, and they vowed from that point that it would never happen again. So they started chasing Republicans out of California. Millions of white Republicans, get rid of them. Bring in illegal aliens and criminals and bums and make sure they vote. I don't trust these fuckers. They're just like the Italian mafia. The California Democrats do what they want and they take what they want. Let's look at LA City schools. The Hispanics and the blacks, their little kids can go to elementary school with their neighbors. And they trust their neighbors. They live with them. So it's a good environment for their young children. But white people up in the hills, up like Laurel Canyon, I've seen it with my own eyes. LA City School off Wonderland Avenue in Laurel Canyon. Big line of black and brown people, poor people, lined up to get into the upper middle class school. They're not going to let the white people have anything. They're going to take. They take from us. That's equity education. It was never put into law, but that's California. Equity education was never made law, but they're doing it anyway because they do what they want and they take what they want because they're fucking gangsters. So much corruption. Massive corruption. The LA Homeless Services Authority. They talk about this Weingard deal where he didn't file the proper. Forget about Weingard. LA City agency paid by the taxpayer got billions of dollars and were sued. They were sued and the judge ordered an audit. And when the auditors came to the LA City Homeless Services Authority, they said, fuck you, you're not getting any evidence. Who the fuck do they think they are? And nobody's gone to jail. Nobody. Diane Taran, who one-handedly destroyed the LA Sheriff's Department with bullshit in lockstep with the fucking liberal media. Oh, the sheriffs are in gangs. Total bullshit narration. That's what they do. They promote their own untruthful narration. They blow shit out of proportion. They're a bunch of gangsters. California Democrats are gangsters. They profit off crises. So they invent crises. They invent homeless. They promote homelessness. They draw homeless and bums from all over the country, and they bring them here so they can rob the taxpayer. They have to take care of the homeless. They have to take care of the drug addicts. And oh, the poor illegal aliens, we got to take care of them too now. These Democrats, and it was always a cover story, giving hundreds of billions to take care of the poor and the bums and the illegal aliens. But Silicon Valley, they're getting tens of trillions. It's out of hand. I'm 70 years old and I've never seen this. Elon Musk has been having YouTube videos on many subjects. A couple of them lately have been about the incredible debt and the system of accruing debt as part of an economic policy. And he says the system is flawed, but here's the thing. The system worked perfectly. When you have honorable, honest people running things and they care about the children and they care about the future, they don't borrow a lot of money unless there's a crisis, a real crisis, like World War II or the Great Depression, how Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal, I'm sure they borrowed money to create millions of jobs for unemployed people. But those were real crises. California has a balanced budget law. You're supposed to balance the budget in California, and it's law. So they must invent crises to have a good excuse to spend the taxpayers' money now and spend it, write out IOUs for the future. So our fucking children are screwed. So home prices quadruple and quintuple because there's so much money supply. Money's like anything else. The more of it, the less the value. And most of it's gone to these like internet and technology and biotech and all these startups and all the venture capitalists and hedge funds that deal in those areas. Trillions of loose dollars available. I'll give you a good example. SoftBank, so they're a big hedge fund investment group out of Japan. Remember WeWork? They leased huge amount of offices. This is typical for the new internet and new economy startups. Before they even have any customers, they invest all this money because it's all promotion. It's all promotion. Anyway, as you know, WeWork was a huge failure, and SoftBank was a big investor. And the problem with WeWork is it had all these lease payments to make every month in all these office spaces, and it had huge outflows of cash and not enough money coming in. But SoftBank eventually spent $16 billion to take over WeWork completely. And it was a huge loss. WeWork's a big failure. At any rate, the point is SoftBank is still fabulously doing well because there was so much money available, they could just borrow a few more hundreds of billions of dollars, and they invested in many, many other startups, some of which hit big. Just a mountain of loose money for investors in technology, in computers, in microchips. It's all a big fucking game. Anyway, this is my opinion, and you can take it any way you want. That's all I gotta say.